On tonight's episode, Phil Coulson gets himself a new ally. Can this new ally help him stop the inevitable? And Jenma learns that fate may not always be what it seems. And Creel deals with Gravitonium. Can he handle it, or will it consume him completely? Find that out and more here on Nephilim Entertainment. What is up, agents? What is up? Welcome back to another installation of Nephilim Entertainment. I'm your host, Metron your Hale. Thanks for tuning in, and this is my coverage of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And this is episode 16, Inside Voices. Interesting that for a title, but Creel decides that he's gonna, well, he doesn't decide how it decides for him, but Creel's basically told to touch the Gravitonium. Him being the absorbing man, he, I guess, has an advantage over this? Not really, because apparently the Gravitonium has plans of its own. Yeah, you heard me right. The Gravitonium apparently is acting sentient. I wonder what's going on there. Meanwhile, back at S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters, we have Mac and Yo-Yo who have a nice little conversation about things, and apparently Mac is feeling that Daisy or Yo-Yo shouldn't focus too much on the future, and she shouldn't focus on the invincibility, and she is offering him not to worry, and he basically tosses up the, well, if I can't worry about you, I at least can be your mechanic. That's sweet talking to there, buddy. But we got Deke and Fitz-Simmons. Apparently Fitz is not too thrilled about Deke's being his grandson. Apparently it's a little traumatizing for our boy. Yeah, apparently he does not like Deke. I like Deke. Deke's a fun guy. I mean, yeah, he acts a little squirrely, but hey, if you've never seen society in real life, you had to rely on some virtual program. I mean, it does, does make you a little, how should we say, spacey? But apparently Daisy is being a hard ass. She's really pushing our team through and through, trying to make them basically jump through hoops. But it's all for the good of getting Coulson back. Apparently Daisy does not want to be in charge any more than they want her pushing and pulling and making them do this, making them do that, and pretty much having to walk on eggshells around her. So with that, hopefully, let's get Coulson back quick. Creel, he's having struggles after touching the Gravitonium at this point. He is actually starting to hear voices, and we're getting flashbacks to the good doctor who was studying the Gravitonium back around season 1. And it's been a long time since we've seen this professor, so long that I don't think his name is that important right now. What matters is that he's hearing voices. So does that mean that the Gravitonium is sentient, or is there something in the midst of it that's giving Creel a lot of bad juju? So Hale doesn't seem convinced about this, so she pushes him and pushes him and pushes him, not knowing that Ruby is kind of getting tired of her mission being put on hold. After all, she feels that she is the destroyer of worlds. But when Daisy decides to go and get Robin comes back and she's sick. She's not talking to anybody. She's not really having anything to do with anybody. So, naturally, everyone's a little worried about this. Ruby, of course, has to go to Strucker and try to figure out their plans. Strucker's doing his best to basically remember everything his dad said, but with him not really exposing too many secrets about the devices and the Gravitonium and everything, he's really not coming up with much. And Ruby she's actually showing care and compassion towards Strucker. I don't know if it's a ruse, or if our girl actually genuinely cares about Strucker, or if he's just an asset that she doesn't want to see go to waste. Who knows? Girls are hard to read. But Mac, he's getting tired of hearing about the future. He doesn't want to hear about it anymore. He's sick of it. He's tired of Yo-Yo always measuring the present on the future, so he's pretty much put all future talk as taboo for the time being. That's good because, as I've said in many of my videos, I don't like time travel. Creel and Coulson have a nice little chat. Apparently, Coulson pretty much tells Creel what the big to-do is and explains to him everything, including the fact that Talbot is held captive by Hale and Ruby. Unknowns to Creel, Creel thought that Talbot was getting the deserved care he needed. Nope. Apparently this was all news to him. So when Coulson gives him a nice little choice, as you can pretty much say, what does Creel choose? You think he's going to turn on Coulson? Nope. He ends up turning on the LMDs, if you want to call them that, the cheap knockoffs that the Russian made. He pretty much takes him out and helps Coulson get out of there. So now they're on their way to find Talbot. But Robin actually does start talking, but oh my god, this gets awkward. She's totally ignoring her own mother and looks at May as her mother. Now, she calls her mommy. I'm just... We never really dove into Robin's powers. My theory is that what if her power isn't necessarily having visions of the future, but what if it is the... What if Robin's is more of a recycling power? What do I mean by that? Basically, what if she lives out her lifetime, lives it completely out, but then as she dies, her mind then comes back and relives the whole time period again. I mean, basically how it is let's say, for all intents and purposes, I live until the year 2086, right? I'll be 100 years old. Now, I got my powers, let's say, in 2000. Okay? You with me so far? That's 14. Yay. But 14 years old, get my powers. Live all the way up to 100. I die. I come back. But I don't come back in the same sense that everyone's used to. I'm basically reincarnated into myself. Instead of going into a new body, going into a new host, my subconscious comes back of the 100-year-old me back into my 14-year-old me. You with me so far? Yeah, pretty much. Live 100 years, come back to when I was 14, live another 100 years, or not 100, it's what, 86? Live another 86 years, come back, live another 86 years. At this point, who knows how many Robins have lived Robin? Robin could be a never-ending circle of Robins. Weird, right? But in the same sense, if you like the 90s, you can go back and live in the 90s. If you like the new millennium, you can go back and live in the new millennium. I mean, you have to think. Robin's powers are pretty sweet if she's able to grow, mature, grow, mature, grow, mature, and then, keep doing it. But at the same time, I mean, she's going to go through puberty all over again. But, yeah, she pretty much calls May mom, and which her actual mom's fine with it. Apparently, she thinks that, eventually it was going to happen, but we're just a little shocked that she's all cool with it. But Jenma, she now wants to test fate. And by testing fate, I mean she gets the whole classic beaker. I have 2 beakers full of water and 1 with acid. I'll drink one, mix them up, drink them. And if I'm meant to die, I'll drink the one with acid. If I'm not meant to die, I won't drink the one with acid. Are you crazy? I've heard of tempting fate, but my God, woman. But is it really, I mean, is it a misdirection? Whenever it's all a ploy by her and Yo-Yo to trick Mac into basically letting Fitz out, I'm thinking, okay, misdirection. Yay, I was right. Thought so. Kind of find out it wasn't. It was a misdirection of a misdirection. Apparently, she did tempt fate. She did have acid in one of the beakers. Fitz isn't the only one about to have a heart attack. I mean, Simmons, come on. I know you're not meant to die, but do you really want to test the whole timeline theory? I mean, it's like taking a gun, pulling the trigger, and saying, if I'm meant to die, I will die right now. Well, you hoping that the gun will misfire? You're going to tempt fate that way? Okay. But Robin, part of the reason why she is mum's the word right now is, I like my theory states, I mean, she died, so she might have been freaking out a little bit about that. Respawning, and I mean, that's what her power is, respawning. Yeah. Just, she's respawning 70 years in the past. Yay, she gets to relive the hipster age. Yay. Oof. Vapes and man buns and fidget spinners. Yay, what's not to miss? Ugh. But yeah, she comes back, and I'm thinking possibly she's reliving this once again. When May asks her, she does see Phil Coulson die, and we're thinking, okay, it'll be later on in a few episodes. No, it's right now. Phillips ends up dying at the hands of one of the LMDs. Crap. You think these people would learn how to fight robots? At some point, they'd have a contingency plan, or something. Maybe even carry around a little EMT device in their pocket. No. He ends up dying, but it's denied. Thank you so much, Creel. Creel has some weird ability to touch electrical things and channel electricity through himself. Nifty power, I guess. So he brings Phil back to life. So Phil's now saved. But it's short-lived because now Ruby is hot on their trail. So now it's Creel versus Ruby. They end up squaring off, and they have a pretty even match. So much so that Hal actually eventually comes upon him and makes him stop. He follows orders. She doesn't. And I want to point something out, and this is something that I noticed. Because I kept on wondering. You know, Creel had a wooden baton in his hand. He was sitting there fighting her man to man, no powers, fighting her hand to hand, right? Creel's not exactly a pushover. As you can see, Phil had trouble, and so did Talbot, which Talbot and Phil both have been locked away, haven't really been keeping nutrition up, probably haven't been getting the right amount of sleep. My point being, these two struggled against LMDs. Creel was able to hold his own. So Creel's not a pushover. He's able to fight against LMDs, toe to toe. He's fighting Ruby, who is apparently like Hydra's version of a super soldier. So she's bred for combat, literally. So you have metahuman versus trained soldier fighting head to head. He's not using his powers. Bravo. He is actually fighting an honorable fight. I like Creel's character now. He is not going to fight an unequal battle. I mean, yeah, he uses his powers. Yeah, there has been times where he used his powers in a fight. But at the same time, he's not going to use his powers against a woman who he is not trying to kill, but merely trying to hold back. So in a way, he's kind of toying with her, but in the same way, he's also honoring her. I love it that he doesn't pop up his powers until after the fight, whenever Hale calls a ceasefire. Ruby throws one of her little ring thingies, like Xena the Warrior Princess. If nobody knows who that is, I feel old. But she throws the ring, hits him in the chest. Of course, he does that whole absorb thing, turns his chest into wood. He's fine. But managed to get Phil and Talbot to get away. So, naturally, our boys are now wandering around in the wilderness. S.H.I.E.L.D. is trying to track them down by using Robin's ability to see into the future by a drawing of a mountain range. Look, if they find Phil and Talbot due to a mountain range that a little girl drew with crayon, this show really needs to work on their storytelling. But in any case, speaking of storytelling, apparently 4 years ago we get a nice little nougat. Everybody remembers Raina. Raina was the girl who basically recruited people. She ended up being a inhuman, like Quake, but her powers weren't nothing more than just her being able able to be clairvoyant. Plus, she was spiky all over. But anyway, apparently we found out 4 years ago the reason why Quinn has disappeared is that she led Quinn to the Gravitonium, and the Gravitonium devoured Quinn, absorbed him. So that possibly brings up the idea, is there multiple subconsciouses within the Gravitonium? The Professor, now Quinn. Who else is a part of this? I mean, literally, who else is a part of the Gravitonium? Alright, up next for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, sometimes I love their little promos at the end of the episodes, because you got the whole, it's mainly focused on Ruby. Basically, it's the whole feature maker. In this case, they're insinuating the whole she's going to have to go against General Hale at some point, which is fine. I mean, I'm not too crazy about Hale's character. I mean, basically, she went to Hydra High. She thought she was going to be, part of this spy organization, thought she was going to matter in the organization. But all she was used is basically an incubator for their super soldier. Fine, but does that mean she's not expendable? Because I don't really think there's much with her character left. I mean, I think they extenuated pretty much her character and pretty much all of her motivation. She's just someone who wants to prove herself. Well, best case you can do is, ta-da, here's a baby that can eventually rule us all. Anyway, but with Hale, I'm not too worried about her being gone. Ruby is pursuing Coulson and Talbot, so that's obvious. But at some point, I like how the promo basically says, beat your idol. Apparently, they're insinuating that there's a possible Daisy versus Ruby thing going on. I'm fine, I'm down. I mean, I really honestly I think Ruby could possibly hold her own against Quake, but at the same time, I think with the whole impending doom and the destroyer of worlds concept still in Daisy's mind, I really don't see her really putting much powers into the fight unless she's given the all clear and there's a guarantee that she won't destroy the planet. But hey, nobody can see the future, right? But that's gonna do it for me. Be sure to leave me a thumbs up down below. Post a comment being all friendly. Let me know what you think about the episode. And be sure to subscribe and stay tuned to the end of the video for more content. But my question for y'all tonight is, did you think Creel was an honorable warrior? Or do you think he was just toying with Ruby? Let me know up here and down here. You know where I stand. But that is going to be a wrap for me. I am Editor. You're watching F Entertainment. To all you daydreamers and creators out there, keep your heads in the clouds. Peace.